What's up, you guys? It's your girl Summer, and we are back with another highlight. Y'all know.
It's coming soon. We got to see you at home or on the move. On the move. But you gotta stay tuned. Stay tuned, y'all. Summer's room.
Now, this time we are covering my girl, Claressa Shields, the GWOAT. If y'all have been following me, y'all know I have taken a really big interest in her as an individual. Not just a boxer, but just an individual. Because I have taken a liking to her. Well, I came across something where, and it might be old to y'all, but it's new to me because, like I said, I just began covering her. She's going to get into some details about her upbringing and how people recognize it was bigger than just boxing for her. And she goes into some details. This might be some sensitive content for some of you guys. Trigger warning. She's going to dive into details about her assault that she went through as a child. And how she lived with her grandma, what that did for her, how her father was incarcerated for a portion of her life, and kind of what motivated her to even get into boxing, and why she has the fire inside of her to keep going and doing the things that she's currently doing. Okay, y'all, let's get into this clip. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. All right, y'all. Bye.
I knew, and people close to me knew, this is bigger than boxing. What I'm going to do is way bigger than boxing, and that's why we have this movie about my life coming out Christmas Day.
Well, talk to me about it. Talk to me about early Flint, Michigan, between the ages of like 2 and 9, when your father, Clarence Shields, was incarcerated. What was life like during that time?
You know, up at 2, you really don't remember much, but I know at
he was
5,
in there. He got out when you was 9, though, right?
9.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was growing up with my mom. You know, she had an addiction. You know, she battled alcohol abuse, you know, growing up all throughout my teenage years and my children years.
Was it just alcohol?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mainly. We didn't have a really good relationship until I turned 17. And we didn't have a good relationship because I was abused and raped at the age of 5. You know what I'm saying? So that made me be like, dislike her, and and that resulted in me getting taken away from my family. So I have 4 siblings on my mom's side: big brother Artist, me, my little sister Brianna, little brother Peanut. And when I had got attacked and I had got raped when I was 5, I moved in with my grandmother. So I didn't see them for a very long time. I stayed with my grandmother till I was 10 years old. So from 5 till 10, I was with my grandma. So that's where my old soul come from. You know, like the music, how I can cook, how I clean, how I talk, all that comes from my grandma. And my grandma was a poet. My grandma was a lot like me. Like, she was a 5'11" woman, but if you saw her, you'd think she was 6'2". She played no games.
Joanne
Adams.
Yeah.
I love her. She instilled so much into me. She wrote poems for me. She taught me how to talk, because I had a bad stuttering problem growing up. I couldn't talk, and I was very shy, and I was very angry. My grandma helped me through all that. You know, even supported me when I started boxing. She was always proud of me.
How much of the anger, like being older now, looking back, do you think was the abuse and your father not being there, or the way you was living? Like, maybe a combination, but what have you gained being older, looking back? Like, okay, I was angry because of these reasons right here.
I was angry because, one, of course, I had got abused, and it gave me a different outlook on men. Now I don't like men. I don't like people like, I don't like people grabbing on me and touching me and stuff. I don't like that. Like, I get like offended, you know, like I still hug my fans and stuff, but don't get too touchy. I don't know. I got like, you know, so, and then also too, like, trusting people, because at a young age, it was this man who was around my mom. He was nice to me, and then one day he started just attacking me. So that always is like a trigger for me. Like, when somebody is cool with me and then all of a sudden they start acting all mean and weird to me, it kind of puts me back in that same place. So it's still things now that happened to me when I was a kid that I'm dealing with now. You know, being a grown woman, that I have to like talk about, or and I've been to therapy and stuff like that. So it's stuff that I still have to deal with that I'm getting through. But I just remember, like, we was hungry all the time, you know. I was separated from my siblings. They would come over for holidays and spend time with us on Thanksgiving, and then they got to go back home with mama. I got to stay with grandma, where, you know, grandma only got me. I'm at the house helping grandma every day, do everything, which I didn't mind, but it was like, dang, I remember playing with my little sister and my little brother, and like, nah, I can't see them for months at a time. And then it just got to a point to where, like, you know, I would go over my mom's house and just to see her like abusing alcohol and stuff, like everything used to anger me. And like I said, I think the most part was just the hungry part, you know what I'm saying? And just like the verbal abuse that used to come with that.
Did she come in and out of the, like, did she have like multiple different personalities? Like, okay, when mama not drinking, she more loving, but when she get on that bottle, it's all bad?
Yeah. What? My mama thinks she Mike Tyson. She used to think she's Mike Tyson when she drank.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, my mama can fight too. Like, before it was me being the one that quit in the family.
I'm not surprised.
It was Granny, and then it was Mama, and then it was me.
Right.
You know, but my mama is a very nice lady, man. Very, very sweet. But when she used to drink, man, she just used to change. And it got to a point to where it was like, to me, that's just unacceptable. It don't matter whether you drinking or not, you still know what you're doing, you know, regardless. And I think that I just had to get away from it. So I just really buried myself in the gym. When I found boxing, it opened my eyes to so many things. Just working hard, not being looked at as different. I can have my hair all over my head, hair under my arms. Nobody judged me. I'm in the gym full of boys. Nobody cared. You know, this stuff that I grew up and nobody was like, oh, your hair not done. Oh, your shirt too big. All they cared about is, are you a great boxer? And I was the best boxer in the gym amongst the men. It didn't matter. That's crazy. I was the hardest worker.
But your dad, when he got out,
he
started telling you stories about Muhammad Ali and Layla Ali, right?
Yeah.
And that sparked your interest in the sport. And then he also used to fight.
Yeah, so my dad, when he got out of prison, I was about 10 and a half, 11 years old. He was talking about how if he would never went to prison, had he stuck to what he was passionate about. And I always ask questions. I'm like, what was you passionate about? When I asked my dad that, whatever my dad said he was passionate about, I was going to do. It didn't matter. He could have said playing basketball. I would have played basketball. But when my dad said boxing, I was like, oh, okay. I was a little fighter back then too. But he didn't know. My dad knew me as a crybaby, still do to this day. He don't understand how I fight still. He don't get it. But as like a kid,
he don't understand how you fight?
He don't understand where it really came from, because growing up, I was a crybaby. I cry all the time. Like if my sister did something, I was running to my daddy.
It might have came from him. He the one that started it off.
Yeah, he said he taught all the boys in the family how to box. He wished somebody would have took it up, right? And he said, but you know what? Muhammad Ali had the same problem. He had all these sons and grandkids, but only his daughter took up after him. And then he was like, oh, and Layla Ali, she's a bad woman. And when he said that, I said, oh, so I guess girls do box, okay. And then I went to the gym.
Be sure to smash that follow button on all platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok.